Yaoi or Yuri? The question of which is more popular for a veteran Yuri fan is actually quite obvious. It's Yaoi. It's obviously Yaoi. It's not even close. But for the average Yuri fan, and just anyone else for that matter, it might sound weird to hear that Yaoi is more popular than Yuri. I know one of my friends was like this a year ago because they were under the idea that girls x girls is hotter and so lesbians would get more attention than gay men like in real life. The overlap in IRL lesbian not safe for work content and Yuri is actually very small though, since if they only want 18 plus content, the IRL lesbian not safe for work crowd can just watch more of their own stuff. They have no need to go to Yuri, which can provide so much more and so much different. What Yaoi and Yuri provide to its audience is different than what IRL shows and not safe for work content can. But that's not what we're going over today. What I'm here to do is to convince you that Yaoi is more popular than Yuri, rather than just saying it to your face. That is, us Yuri fans are a minority in the grand scheme of things. And I want to show that with some stats to back it up. To show just how much more popular Yaoi is than Yuri, and why oftentimes Yuri fans are the ones that get shafted compared to Yaoi fans. We'll start first with novels on Novel Updates. It's a website that I frequent to read translated Yuri novels, but mostly to just discover them and read past them myself. Here, there exists a Yuri and Yaoi tag, so sorting through will be easy. When we click on the Yuri tag and apply filter, we'll get a long list of Yuri's novels, and if we scroll all the way down, we'll see that there are 25 Yuri novels per page, and there are 24 pages here. When we click on it, we see that we have 23 pages of 25 and a remaining 2. So that means 23 times 25 plus 2 equals 577 translated Yuri novels. When we look at the Yaoi side of the filters and scroll all the way down, we can see that they have a total of 100. They have 100 compared to my Yuri's 24. When we go to the page itself, we can see that they have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That just means that they straight up have 25 times 100 for 2,500. And I don't even know if it maxes out at 100, or if you could have more pages than this, and this is just how much it's limited to show. But they have 2,500 translated Yaoi novels. That's 4 times the amount of Yuri that I have. This is what I mean when I say that there is a huge difference between how much more Yaoi there is than Yuri, how much more content that Yaoi fans get than Yuri fans. Next on the list, let's go to My Anime List. It's a website that I use to discover the newest anime of the season, oftentimes to try to see if there's any more Yuri animes that's coming out this season. If we go to the anime search feature, we can see that there are in fact girls love and boys love tags right here. So sorting is very easy. And to make it even more convenient, there's even numbers right next to them that tell us how many animes have this tag on them. So for girls love, there is 109 anime that's tagged while for boys love, there is 179 animes that are tagged. The discrepancy isn't as big as with the novels, but you can still clearly see that there are still like 80% more BL than there is GL in this case as well for anime. This just ends up meaning that there's gonna be more often case per season a yaoi anime compared to a Yuri anime. Then this brings us to fan fiction, and that fan fiction is on AO3. I don't often frequent this anymore. At least I used to only frequent it back in the day when I was a Robin and Crom shipper. Aside from that, I don't use it anymore. That said, it's the biggest for fanfiction, and there's no simple tag though for Yuri and Yaoi like there was for the anime and novel, but there is a yearly ranking of AO3 ships. Here you can see the top 100 ships ranked, and of them, I think you can clearly see that there is a lot of male/males, which means yaoi pairs. If we go through the list, you could see that the first non-yaoi ship, as in a actual straight ship, is on rank 13. It takes 13 ranks in order to even get a straight ship. And we want to look for a lesbian ship, you'd have to go even further down. You can see that we still can't see one. And now we finally see one all the way down here at rank 36. Fanfiction is also heavily predominantly done by yaoi fans and /BL fans. But rankings don't give a picture of just how much more there is over lesbian ships. So if we instead search by categories, we can see that there is 1,143,675 works in F/F. That sounds like a lot, right? That's like over 1 million works. But if we want to look at how much was in the M/M, we can clearly see that they have over 5,751,220 works in M/M. They have over 5 times the amount over lesbian ships. That is a metric ton. I think you can see just how much more like rabid the fans are for yaoi ships than they would be for Yuri ships. There is just a lot more fans that are both making content and just more of them in general. Let's go back to more traditional anime related stuff, specifically in the realm of manga on Manga decks, which is not my usual place for manga, since if I want to, I usually just go to Dynasty Reader, well, it's Dynasty Scans for my Yuri. But there's occasionally stuff on manga decks that is not on Dynasty Scans, so I check here every so often for Yuri as well. If we navigate to the advanced search tag, we are able to filter, and we can clearly see that there is a girls love and a boys love tag. So if we filter by girls love, we're able to see that there are 32 mangas per page with 162 pages on manga decks. And now I'm not gonna go over how many that is specifically, just know that 162 times 32 is like around 5,000. The reason why I'm rounding it is because if you look over here, if we try to look at boys love and we click search, we'll see that there is 313. Now, if you multiply 32 times 313, you'll get around 10,000. And that's because when you reach 313, you can't go any further. No matter how much further you go, there is just not any more. That doesn't mean that there is not any more yaoi, but that this is the maximum limit in which is shown. So there are more yaoi than the maximum displayable number of yaoi, which is 10,000. So if we take the safe estimate that we had before with the other Yuris, how there was like 4 to 5 times the amount, then if there is a maximum of around like 5,000 Yuri mangas. So if there's like 5,000 Yuri mangas, then on manga decks, there's going to be like 20 to like 25,000 yaoi mangas. To put in perspective, I hope you enjoyed and are willing to subscribe to the channel for the type of research I have done to show this. But don't get me wrong, these are just examples that I can give. Like, I can get more from like Pixiv and find like the total fan art total of Yuri versus Yaoi, but honestly, I feel like I've gotten the point across by now. It should be clear that Yaoi is just that much more popular than Yuri. And I don't say this to disparage Yuri fans, but to make clear how much more of a majority Yuri fans are in the grand scheme of things. This is important to understand because if you ever wonder why there's so much more yaoi, why that yaoi gets like a lot more attention, gets a lot more favoritism when it comes to animes or mangas, where they get a lot more adaptations or translations or pickup novels from like 7 Seas, it's because it's just more popular. I brought this topic up at all for the general discourse since I saw a comment on my last video that I wanted to make it very clear that what I thought was common knowledge is not actually as known, so I wanted to share it. If you have any other Yuri questions you want answered, I'll gladly give my 2 cents in the comment section, and if it's pressing enough that I think everybody should know, because I thought it was just like common knowledge again, I might even make a video out of it to share it for everybody. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week on the next episode of Yuri-ology. At least, that's what I'm calling this now.